Title: My wife wanted an open marriage until her boss rejected her, and she lost everything. Broken heart. That shattered the quiet. It started with 7 words that detonated inside my skull. Honey, I think we should open our marriage. For a second, I thought she was joking. Valerie, my wife, my anchor, my high school sweetheart, looked dead serious. Her tone was flat, clinical, like she was discussing dinner plans. And my body knew before my mind did. A slow surge of cortisol flushed through my chest, tightening everything. My heart stumbled. My pupils dilated. I remember staring at her lips move, but hearing nothing, just the dull roar of blood pressure spiking in my ears. We'd been together since we were 15. Built every chapter of adulthood side by side. College, marriage, kids, careers. We were us. Solid. Predictable in the best way. Now she was telling me she wanted strangers between us. I laughed, nervous, hollow, detached. You're not serious. She looked down at her coffee. I am. I've been reading about polyamory. I just feel like I missed out. That's when adrenaline hit me full force. The primitive kind. Fight or flight. Except I did neither. I just froze. She kept talking. How it would only be physical, how our emotional connection would stay intact, how I could do the same. Her words sounded rehearsed, like something pulled from an online forum for people convincing themselves love can survive division. I stared at her, and all I could think was, who is he? She swore there was no one, but her body language betrayed her. The micro flicker of her eyes, the breath hitch before she spoke. That's when my brain's reward center, the same one that used to light up when she laughed, shut down cold. I didn't sleep that night. My vagus nerve thrummed so hard it felt like my heart was trying to escape my chest. 23 years together, and suddenly I didn't recognize the woman lying beside me. A few weeks later, she brought it up again, this time without emotion. Either I agreed, or she'd consider other options. It was the tone that killed me, not the words. That emotionless, corporate tone. Like I was being laid off from my own marriage. I asked who the other options were. She didn't answer. And that silence, God, it said everything. I packed a bag that night and left. No plan. Just distance. Because when the person you trust most starts playing God with your life, distance is oxygen. 2 days later, my phone wouldn't stop buzzing. 20 missed calls. 50 messages. Then she showed up at my hotel. Her eyes were swollen. Mascara tracks etched like remorse. Please, just talk to me, she begged. I wanted to believe she was sorry. That she'd woken up from whatever emotional delusion had hijacked her frontal lobe. But then she said it. It's my boss. Everything went still. The human brain has a way of freezing horror into frames. Her voice. The sterile hotel light. My chest locking up like concrete. Her boss. The same man she'd been working late nights with. The reason she missed dinners, volleyball games, bedtime stories. She talked fast, said it wasn't an affair yet, just emotional chemistry. That he made her feel alive, seen, understood. Every neuron in my brain screamed the same word. Fantasy. She wasn't chasing freedom. She was chasing dopamine. The thrill. The validation hit. The neurochemical high that fades the second it's real. And the worst part? She thought it was noble to tell me. Like honesty absolved betrayal. You can't have both, I said, voice shaking but flat. Not with me. She cried. Said I was being closed-minded. Said she wanted to experience more. I told her to get out. For weeks, I existed like a ghost in my own body. The amygdala, the part of your brain that registers threat, never shut off. Every phone vibration felt like danger. Every quiet moment was filled with the echo of her words. Then came the call, 2 months later. Her voice cracked. I need to talk. Please. I went to the house. She was pacing, jittery, eyes hollow. She'd made a huge mistake at work, sent the wrong file to a major client. HR was involved. Her boss was furious. The same boss? I asked. She nodded, cheeks burning. Then came the truth. He never wanted her. She'd misread everything. professional kindness for romantic attention. She'd confessed her feelings and he'd recoiled, calling it inappropriate. Now, she was facing termination. She'd thrown away 15 years of marriage, 2 kids, and her own peace of mind for a man who never wanted her. Her hands trembled as she cried, "Everything's falling apart. I don't have anyone else." I looked at her and felt nothing. No rage. No relief. Just a hollow quiet where love used to live. "You called me," I said, "because you needed help, not because you're sorry." She stared at me like she didn't understand. But I meant it. I wasn't her emotional ambulance anymore. I grabbed my bag and left. And for the first time in months, maybe years, I felt my heart rate slow. Time is a strange medicine. 3 months later, she was jobless. I was steady. The kids were adjusting. And I'd finally filed for divorce. When I told her, she broke down completely. Real tears this time. Those deep, guttural sobs that come from the limbic brain, not the ego. "I'm sorry," she said between breaths. "For everything. For breaking us. For breaking you." I wanted to hate her, but my body betrayed me again. Heart racing, throat tightening, a rush of serotonin at the sound of her remorse. Because love, even when it's dying, leaves phantom signals. "I still love who you used to be," I said quietly. "But that person's gone," she begged. I walked away. Because healing doesn't happen in the arms that hurt you. The divorce finalized 5 months later. I remember standing outside the courthouse, the winter air hitting my lungs like clarity. There was no victory, just peace. The kind that comes when your brain finally stops expecting a text that'll never come. At night, sometimes, I still dream of her laugh, the version before everything broke. Then I wake up, breathe, and remind myself that pain is just memory rehearsed too often. Now my focus is on my kids, on giving them stability, safety, warmth. I'll never badmouth their mother, but I'll make sure they grow up knowing that love isn't supposed to feel like panic. So yeah, she wanted an open marriage, and what she opened instead was her own downfall. Because no matter how far someone runs chasing new dopamine, eventually the crash always comes. And when it does, the people they left behind are the only ones still standing. Thanks for listening. And if you've ever had to rebuild yourself after someone burned your world down, remember, your heartbeat means you survived. Don't forget to subscribe for more stories that remind your heart it still matters.